Okay, so this is Milestones part 2 because I didn't want to make an extremely long video. Hi everybody, it's Essie. I hope you're liking and sharing, and I'm hoping that the community grows so we can continue to express our thoughts and encourage one another along this weight loss journey. I am a weight loss journey enthusiast. Like I said, this is a marathon and not a sprint. So there are 3 other things that I thought about, and I don't know if you guys have experienced this too. So if you have, just chat back with me, put it there for everybody to read. Let's see if we have the same experiences. So one of the things that I think I mentioned, and I don't know if I did, so if I didn't, I'm sorry, but I'm telling you now, I was a diabetic. You know, it is hereditary, it runs in my family, but I was on Levemir, I was on Novolog, metformin, and my doctor, as a precaution, put me on labetalol and atorvastatin, right? So I am getting older and I'm getting pumped up with pills. After I had my son, my 3rd child, I developed during the pregnancy gestational diabetes, and afterwards my doctor was like, you know what, it's only a matter of time before you have diabetes because it runs in your family and you're not going to do anything about your weight. So me, like so many people do, you don't like being talked to about your weight. I looked at him, I said some things to him in my mind that I'm not going to share, and I went on about my business. But he's right, I didn't do anything at that time about my weight. Then fast forward, I have my baby girl who is now 13. And the moment my body, the pregnancy kicked in, I went straight into full gestational diabetes. I had to be monitored for everything that I ate, everything that I even looked at. It seems like it made me swell up. And so ever since then, once I had her, I've been a diabetic. And it has been quite tough because I've seen what diabetes can do to other people, whether it be my family or my friends, my dad. You know, I could see that this was something that would be detrimental in the long run. But even with that being said, I said she's 13. I didn't even start this journey until she was about 11. So that should tell you something. You got to be ready. You got to have the right motivation. I could not do this for anybody else but me. I had to have the motivation. So let's talk about 3 additional things and that really were milestones for me. The day, and I don't know, please tell me if you experienced this. So I'm going to go see the endocrinologist. I still see him because they're weaning me off of my medicine, right? And he looks at me and I'm waiting for the bomb to drop. Like I'm getting nervous, and he looks at me, he goes, your A1C is phenomenal and I've been tracking you for a while. I think it's time to take you off the Novolog. And I'm scared to death because even though I'm waiting for this, I'm scared to do it because I'm thinking my body's just going to go, ha ha, girl, you still a diabetic. Don't you get off that insulin, right? But that's not what happened. He told me what the transition would be like to get off the medicine. It happened exactly the way that he said, and he took me off the Novolog. And so the next visit, 3 months later, I'm talking to him and he's like, okay, you still losing weight? Because by this time, I had lost close to 70 pounds on my own before anything else. And he said, let's put you on, let's take you off the Levemir. And I'm scared at this point because I'm like, I don't know. My body's been on it so long. I don't even know what taking me off is going to be like. So we transitioned me off, no problem. I was amazed. And I was even more so amazed at how good I felt with each step down process taking me off of the insulin. So I'm still on metformin. My last visit, right, because like I said, I'm on this journey. My last visit, I go into his office and he's like, stop the metformin, you don't need it. And I don't want you to be on something you don't need. Now, as a side note, he did put me on Ozempic, and we're going to talk about Ozempic, like my challenges with Ozempic. But please keep in mind that by this time, I had already lost about 80 pounds on my own before I even started Ozempic, okay? So there's a story behind that as well. I'm not on Ozempic anymore. I'm on Mounjaro. So that is helping. But I really don't think I hopefully won't be on it that much longer, because most of this I'm still doing on my own, if that makes sense. For people who are on any kind of Wegovy, if I'm saying it right, Ozempic or Mounjaro, you'll understand what I'm talking about. That gets to a point where when your body gets used to it and you're doing things in addition to taking that's helping you to progress to weight loss. So there have been times when I couldn't get Ozempic and I still lost weight. So that's what I'm talking about, changing our mentality so that, when he takes me off Mounjaro, I don't want to gain this weight back. But then keeping in mind that I'd already lost 80 pounds before I even started, I had already started a routine. And that's one of the things that he told me, which made him feel really comfortable about weaning me off and eventually weaning me off of this too. So that was exciting. And then seeing him get emotional with each and every step that I take. Because I'm going to tell y'all, when I used to go to him, I was ignorant. I wasn't ignorant. I was ignorant. Okay. So I was the patient that he would tell me something and I'm like, this little skinny man don't know what he talking about. I'm fine. I had an attitude problem. And so to see that transition with him and also my primary care physician has just been a delight. It's actually a delight going to go see them now. And they enjoy the visit, I'm sure, a lot more because I was ignorant. Okay. And then on top of that, the last couple of things, having more energy. So having more energy to be engaged with my family, my kids, my mom, to be there for my friends. And we're going to talk about that a lot too. The things that I denied myself doing because I simply didn't have the energy. I have the energy now, and that makes me feel really good. And then the last thing for the milestone today is the day that your kids notice. My kids are 22, 20, 18, 13, and 6. And my oldest son, who's 18, hardly ever says anything. But for him to stop and tell me, Mama, I want to say something to you, and I don't want to cause offense. And I'm like, what? He said, wow, you're really losing weight. You've lost a lot of weight, Mom. He said, you look nice. And I almost crumpled. Now, when I say he really doesn't say anything, we do talk, so don't think that. But it's like he wasn't going to say anything about my personal appearance. He never has. So to hear him say that, there are things, what is the saying? It says, there are moments in life that take your breath away. That was a milestone for me. So before I cry my lashes off, because that can happen, tell me what your milestones are. Tell me what makes you excited along this journey. And if you haven't started yet, think about your milestones. Write them down. Think about things that you'd like to see happen to your own body. Imagine what your body's going to be like when you've lost the weight and you've even started the journey. And then we'll get into what we can do to help each other in this community. So like and share. Have a great evening, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.